Hello everybody, welcome back. In this video we'll be looking at data modeling. What is data modeling? Data modeling is a process of you setting a blueprint of how you want your data to be stored or how you want your data to be organized. Even if some people sees it as a medium of you creating or a process of you creating relationship between table, of course I would not dispute that, but it goes beyond you trying to create relationship between your tables. It takes you recognizing what the entities of your business is, of your data is, what the attribute of the data is, and also the kind of relationship that can be formed between them. And I don't know if you guys remember how I talked about data normalization that has to do with you organizing your data in relational databases to make them effective and when organized for use, removing inconsistency in your data to reduce redundancy from your data, right? So in this class, we'll be looking at how you can normalize this data, splitting them into dimensions and fact table. What are dimension tables? Tables that describes fact. Fact table are the tables that contains the measures, they contains the event of your data, it contains the measures of it, that is measures by I mean numerical fact of your data. So let's do this. Looking at this data, and if you don't really get this very well, I'll paste the link to the video where I talked more on data normalization and data modeling. You see that in the description. You get to understand very well if you don't get what I'm trying to do now. Okay, so data modeling. The first thing first for us to get what the entities of this data are, what the entities are. Entities are what makes up a business. Number one here is the customer, because we have customer and customer age, customer age. So we have details about the customer. So customer here is an entity. Going forward, we have product ID, product subcategory, then product itself. So the next entity is the product. Then again, I think that's all. All right, we have for location ID, location, then state. We also have product category. So we have entity customer, entity product, and entity location. So what are the attributes? Of course, for the customer, ID is the attribute, customer age is the attribute, customer gender, they're all describing customer. Then for the product ID is the attribute, subcategory of the product itself, then the product category, which is at this end. I'm going to move this, right click, okay. For those that want to drag, just drag like this, but I think it wastes time. Can you see how it's taking time? All I should have done just done is right click, and then I'll get my results by moving it to the beginning and shifting it. So I'll just put it here. All right, so we have this here. Now the second rule of data normalization states that any column describing another column should not be in the same column. So this is where splitting into dimensions and fact table comes in. The fact table should be the one that contains the record of when the customer comes in, the number of products he or she purchased, and the number of quantity, everything about the sales will be recorded in your fact table. But a separate table describing the customer is a dimension table. Now let's see. From here, all I'm going to do is to right click. Now same thing with Excel, you can either duplicate or reference. So I'm just going to duplicate. I'll duplicate this. So duplicate. Then I'll come here and I'll give this customer lookup. I'll say customer lookup, hit enter. Then you can still find those features. Can you see manage columns? So click on this choose column, then choose column. What are the columns I want to choose? I want to choose only columns that describe the customer. Uncheck all, then check customer ID, customer age, customer gender. I think that's all about customer here. Then hit OK. So one thing you should note that in the dimension table, we don't need duplicate. There should be no duplicate in your dimension table. It should contain only unique values, no duplicates. I'm going to right click now. Now look at this, 3 columns, 999 plus rows. So I'm going to duplicate, remove duplicates, hit remove duplicate. So let's see, hit remove duplicates. Now you might still be saying 999 plus here. Let's hold on and see if it's going to roll up to the correct value. If it doesn't, that means our values are still 999 plus. But let's see. And the next thing I'm going to do again, I want to draw out the dimension table for product. So I'm going to duplicate again. Then this time around, I would name this dimension table for product. So I'll give it product lookup. Product lookup. So I'll hit enter. So the moment I do this, then I'll come here to choose column. Then I'll choose column, uncheck all, check products ID, product category, subcategory, and the product. Do you have anything about product? I think that's all. So I'll hit OK. We have this now, and the next thing I'm going to do is remove duplicate from this. Right click and I'll hit remove duplicate, so that it will remove all duplicate from this particular table. So waiting for it to remove the duplicate. No, now can you see we have 4 columns, 130 rows. Now let's go back and see what was there before we removed the column. It was 4 columns, 999 plus rows. Because we removed the duplicate from it, we now have it reduced to 4 columns, 130 rows. So I'll go back to customer lookup and let's see if it has reduced these two. This is still showing 3 columns, 999 plus rows. So maybe that's just the unique values for the customers. Now let's go back, right click, and I'm going to duplicate again because I want to get the lookup table for location. So I'll name this location lookup. Location lookup. Okay, so I'll hit enter. Then come here to choose column. Choose column. I would uncheck all and check everything that has to do with location ID, the country, the state. Then I would hit enter. Okay. Then I'll make sure to remove duplicate from this place. Remove duplicate. Okay, so can you see now we have 3 columns, 53 rows. Before it was 3 columns, 999 plus rows. How we remove that? This is you normalizing your data, removing inconsistency, redundancy. Redundancy means duplicate from your data. One thing is that if you don't remove these duplicates that should not be there, it will just keep slowing down your work, slowing down your query. Then the next thing, we've created a dimensions table that are describing the fact table. The next thing to create is the fact table itself. So I would duplicate this, then I would give this 20 sales 2011 to 2016 fact table, or let me just give it sales facts. So it's okay to hit enter. So when it comes to your fact table, don't forget that the IDs in each of these lookup tables serve as the unique identifier for those tables. So the customer ID here is the unique identifier for this table customer lookup, which is known as the primary key here. Then the product lookup too, the product ID here is the unique identifier for this table and it's called the primary key here. Same thing for location. The location ID here is the unique value, unique identifier for this table called lookup, location lookup, and it's the primary key for this table. So when it comes to creating the fact table, every of the primary keys of those dimension tables will be here as foreign keys. Now let's see, what do I mean? I'll come here to choose column. I would uncheck all, check order ID. This is the unique identifier for this sales fact table. Then date, customer ID, which serve as, it will serve as a foreign key here for the customer lookup table. So I'll select this. We don't need customer age, it's already there in the dimension table. We don't need customer gender. We only pick the IDs. Product ID, we'll leave out product category, subcategory, product order. Then we'll now start selecting the measures. The fact table will contain the measures. Order fact table, that's order quantity, unit cost, unit price, cost, revenue, then location ID. These are all the things I want. Hit OK. Now, someone might be wondering, we're not going to remove duplicates here, and someone might be wondering, why are we not removing duplicates in this fact table? Now, you know, anytime you go to a supermarket to buy something, your name is Blessing, right? Like mine, you bear Blessing like mine. So you visit the supermarket to buy something, you go there by 1 p.m, you bought biscuits, you went there again by 5 p.m, you bought gala, you went there again by 6 p.m, you bought a drink. right? The number of time you appear will be recorded in the fact table that, oh, she came here by 1 to buy biscuit, she came by 2 to buy gala, she came by 6 to buy drinks. It will be recorded. But when you think about, oh, who is this? You have a unique ID. Maybe your unique ID is 001. Then you're wondering, who is 001? Where is she from? What's the gender of 001? Then the record won't be here on the fact table. They have to go check the lookup table for customers to know who is 001. And they'll come here and say, oh, 001 is a female and she's 33 years old. So the fact table is allowed to contain duplicates because it records the number of times customers visit the store. But dimension tables are not allowed because they only contain the record of those people, describing who those people are. Now, we are done with this. The next thing I want to create a date table here. I want to show us how we can do that in the Power BI front end. In Microsoft Excel, I showed us using the advanced query editor, but we won't do that here. We won't do that here. We might do it later, but not now. So now, we want to load this into the Power BI front end because we are done. We have all this already. Now, it's very, very possible for you to choose what you want to load into the Power BI front end. For example, I don't want to see the department details. I don't want to see employee details. I don't want to see full employee details. I also don't want to see the sales 2011, 2015. I don't want to see it. And this one itself. I only want to see the customer lookup, product lookup, location lookup, and sales fact. I only want to import them into the Power BI front end. To do this, all I have to do is to come here, select this, then right click. And we have this two. Can you see these two box checked? Enable load, include the report fresh. So I want to check all. I don't want them. I don't want to enable load, so I want to check all, right? Possible data loss. Disabling load will remove table from the report or any feature that we use that uses column is broken. Continue. I have not built any reports yet, so I don't want it to be loaded in. Right click. I'm doing the same for this. Uncheck include in report and also uncheck enable load. So it won't load it in. Yeah, continue. Then come here. I'm doing the same thing for full employee details. I would have said you should delete it, but I'm just showing you how you can. If you don't want to load data in, just do that. I would have said just delete it, but just showing you how to. So this is how you do that. Now let's see. Okay, so let me leave this and let me just delete the rest. So that way I'll delete the rest. Delete the rest. Okay, so I'm trying to, yes, right click. Okay, so now I don't think if I delete these two it will affect this particular one. So let's do it this way. I would only delete these three because I don't need them. Delete, so it deletes everything. Are you sure you want to delete this query? Yes, I want to delete them. Then we have this one. I can now stop these ones from loading in. So yes, that's been stopped. You right click to get that feature, this and this. So very good. Now let's see, for you to import this into the Power BI front end, just come here, still in your home tab, you can see the button for close and apply. Click here, then select close and apply. So this loads the data into the Power BI front end. So waiting for it is still loading. You're just seeing this interface, but this is not the real interface. So waiting for it to come in. So you can see it's loading your data in, and you can't find those. You can't find the sales. Okay, let's see. Let's wait for it. Right. So can you see that you only have customer lookup, location lookup, product lookup, and the sales facts here? You didn't load the rest in. That is how you do that. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to create the model, create the relationship between this table. So I'll come here to this model view, and now let me go back and show you something again. I don't think we've explored that. That's the table view. So selecting this customer lookup, can you see it's showing it, it's displaying it in tabular form. So here you can add a calculated column, a new column based on the existing data that you have here, or using a DAX formula to do that. We'll get there very soon. We have this. We're going to the data model. Now, automatically, the moment you loaded the data in, Power BI already detected the relationship. It detected how it should look like. Can you see this now? Anytime you see that this place is too bold, the model is looking too bold, just come here. Here, can you see fit to page? This button beside this zoom slide here, you can see it. Just click this, so it reduces the size of it. Automatically it created the relationship. Now you have to check, be sure that the relationship is correct. So you can see when you hover around this, it's showing you, okay, customer ID to customer ID. This it's showing you product ID to product ID. This is showing you location ID to location ID. So very, very correct. One to many. Don't forget the type of relationship we have. We have one to many, we have many to many, we have many to one, or one to many. So this is just one to many relationship. That is a single instance of an entity here to multiple instance of it here. So remember, in our lookup table we don't have duplicates, but in the fact table we have duplicates. So that's why you're saying it's that way. There's no duplicate here, there's duplicate here, so it is one to many. That is it. All right. So if you want to delete the relationship, you're not satisfied with it, or it's not the kind of relationship you want to be. Sometimes you can have two dates and you only want to work with one, and you found out that Microsoft Power BI has created a relationship between the wrong date you didn't want to work with. You can always delete the relationship and edit it, or do what you want to do with it. To do that, just select somewhere on the line, right click, and you see delete and properties. So if you want to delete the relationship, you click delete. Do you want to delete this relationship? Visualizing data from the related table might be broken. That's if you've built a report already or you've created a visual. So yes, I want to delete it. So that relationship would be gone. Can you see it's not connected anymore? If you want to build the relationship now, all you have to do is, now it is product ID to product ID, right? So I'm going to come here, select product ID, drag it, then paste it on this product ID here, and it forms the relationship. So you can see it brings out this new relationship dialog box. So it's asking you, okay, you want to, from this table product lookup to the main table, the ID. Can you see the relationship cardinality is one to many, cross filter direction is just single. From that, I'm going to hit now make this relationship active. Yes, I want to make it active. Now save this. Then it would save the relationship. Can you see we now have a relationship here? So I'm going to collapse this so that we have enough space. Collapse it. So you have this. So here is showing you the tables you have, and this is showing you the semantic model. Let's go back. The tables. This is how you create relationship in Power BI, which we just did now. I hope we've been able to get one or two from this. And let's go back and explore our Canva and see the data in the data pane. So can you see when you click on this drop down button, you get to see all the columns in that table, all the columns in that table, all the columns in that table. That is how you do it. I hope we understand this concept well. In our next video, we'll look at other things that you need to know. All right. If you're just visiting this page for the very first time, my name is Ibrahim Blessing, and I'm a data analyst passionate about growth. And I'm so happy you're giving yourself to learning. If you have questions concerning the tutorial videos, do go to paste them in the comment section, and I would do my best to answer them. Thank you very much. Bye.